We live now. Goats in the chat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I need clapping emojis. I need hype. Yes, sir.
Let's go,
Final
baby.
Four, baby. Final Four, baby. Oh man, I don't even know the people coming in yet. Oh, there they are. Okay, I see them. Yes, sir, Mr. Muscleman Pack. Muscleman Pack. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dang, Rusty, this is your time to come off mute, bro. What you doing? You're not saying that?
No, I was trying to not be too loud. Like
you're not as loud as you were the other night. The background ain't that bad. Not gonna lie, the background's not that bad.
All right, that's good.
Loud, bro.
That's good. I didn't want to just in case Luke shows up again. I didn't want to be blowing it up and then having Zion take a bad screenshot of my face while I was wiping my nose.
Oh yeah,
put it on Twitter again.
Hey, that's the first thing. I'll start off the show with. If people on Twitter, if you see somebody, make sure we see it. I hope Luke Kennard show up again. Shout out Luke Kennard.
Hell yeah!
Last episode. But
yeah,
Luke, you are my father.
You see someone say something, man. Let's hear who's all out here, man. Hanging out with us.
If you see something,
exactly what my mind was saying.
Yes, sir.
Oh
yeah, Russ, we need a beer report real quick from Derek. Derek Leantar asked what beers we're at.
Not as many as the other. I was truthfully, I was more stressed. I think I told you all. I told you all on the March Madness episode that I was more stressed about the Sweet 16 than the Elite Eight. Now, granted, I thought we'd be playing Gonzaga Elite Eight, but I was still more stressed about Sweet 16 than the Elite Eight, regardless. So I've not had as many tonight as I had 2 nights ago. That said, I've had my fair share because I needed to dull my senses over the course of the day to sort of keep the stress down. You know what I mean? So we've been doing the thing. And shout out to my boy Philip and some of the people here who are just diehard Duke fans who are here cheering so loud, being rowdy with me during the game. This is a great lucky bar. I'll be back here in a week.
Yes, sir. Get the intro.
Nobody outside of Kentucky cares about that rivalry.
Exactly.
Who cares about
wins 2015 or 2010, and everybody is saying 2015.
So just got back up here, John, a couple days ago. So been in the gym a little bit. Me and Joey been in the gym working out together.
As Duke fans, as Duke coaches, but I get excited over there, even in my suit, I'm grabbing Coach Tyler's leg, like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I ain't see enough clapping emojis, man. Where the clapping emojis at, man? Come on, y'all.
Let's get it. Come on.
Where are they at, man? Where are they at, man? I need the clapping emojis. We are going to the Final Four. Yes, sir.
We're 2 games away, man. 2 games away.
Man. Hey, man. This is, oh, man. We haven't been back in 2015, man. Duke is back, man. Now Duke is back for real. No more disrespect on Duke's program. We are back. None of that, you guys wasted talent and all that. Anyway, man, shout out to Take Pick, of course. We got 2 more games left. Yes, we do. We got 2 more games left. So, use the Duke Nation code. And, if you're going to Final Four, you can get discounted tickets, man. We might be there. Ryan, I don't know. You want to?
Hey, man. Hey, we would love to bring this show more than anything to New Orleans for the final week of Coach K's career. So if you are able, willing, want to see us in New Orleans, I have my Venmo link in the bio of my Twitter account, man. Send us your donations if you want to see us in the Final Four, celebrating, putting on this show in New Orleans, man. It would mean so much to us. Yeah. So like I said, the Venmo link is in my description of my profile.
And for people not on Twitter, it's the Duke Nation on Twitter.
Yeah, the Duke Nation on Twitter. My Venmo is Ryan Lohman, LOMMEN, RYAN LOMMEN. So hit us up if you want us to head to the Final Four. We won't be able to do it without you guys. So we appreciate that. But Zion, we haven't done it all year, so we're going to do it tonight. Your initial thoughts on the game tonight?
Let's start it off.
Let's start it
off. Man, I don't even know. I'm just so happy, man. I'm just so happy. Like Arkansas never, like I've been saying it behind the scenes. I have not said it publicly, but Arkansas didn't scare me just because
Not
it's
at all.
coming off the strongest, the toughest team in the country, arguably. I don't think Arkansas was gonna do anything we haven't seen already, and they
No.
didn't. Like we didn't have to shoot threes. We were legit just pounding it inside, and it was just so easy, man. It was just so easy, and I'm just so happy, man. I'm so happy for Wendell. I'm happy for Coach K. Like it's just like a culmination of what this season was. Just to get to this point. Obviously they got 2 more games left, but this is what I needed before the tournament. This was what I needed, and we got it. So I'm happy. Russ, man, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I know that last night I was not in a good mindset. I think a lot of Duke fans were not in a great mindset last night. I was definitely one of them. But just to Zion's point, watching the guys who have struggled, who have pushed through, Wendell, Jeremy, Mark, especially the people who came back, it's just really rewarding to watch them get to celebrate and get to play so well. I mean, I think everybody who had returned played really, really well tonight. I mean, Mark in particular, and then obviously Jeremy is just on another level right now, and is just playing some great, great basketball. He had a couple of turnovers, but nothing egregious. More than anything else right now today. Now ask me again tomorrow night and we'll see how I feel. But at least right now, I'm just happy for the guys, man. They deserve it, especially the guys who came back. They really, really deserve. Like Wendell didn't get to play his freshman year because of COVID. He didn't get to play last year because things went sour. Like for a guy like him to get to go to the Final Four, he's earned this. So I just feel really great for the guys today, and I'll worry about the rest of it later. But right now, I'm very, very happy for the guys who have earned it.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest initial thought is just happy for the whole team. They came from the end of the season where we were all questioning whether or not this team had it in them to where they're at now is kind of like a remarkable turnaround. Like it's almost like we treat this team as a team that just barely squeaked in and didn't have a great year. And this team, after those last couple of games with Virginia Tech and UNC, came out firing, man. Yeah, look at Trey. I love it, man. That's awesome. But yeah, it's just cool to see that this team turned it around when it meant most. And we all kind of I don't want to say called it, but we all kind of were expecting it. This team stepped up in neutral court games or on the road games like Gonzaga, Kentucky, games on the road like UNC. And it was just fun to see, man. And we're going to the Final Four, man. I don't think Coach K could have scripted any better than this. And the job's not done, man. That game tomorrow night, the Peacocks and the Tar Heels.
Oh, God. Let's not talk about that yet.
Let's
not talk about that yet.
I can't wait, baby.
St. Peter's, please. That's all I'll say. I'll say St. Peter's, please.
I won't survive this week, man. Oh, I can't wait. But I want to give
Ryan, can I just to piggyback what you just said? This does remind me a lot. I mean, obviously the 2015 team had a better regular season than this team did. For sure. But I don't think anybody would question that. But it does remind me a lot of how the 2015 team going into the tournament, we had lost in the ACC tournament. There were questions about the defense in a big way going into the 2015 NCAA tournament, not as drastic as this team's. But I also think that this team has the sort of talent advantage that the 2015 team didn't necessarily have. I mean, going into the Final Four, I mean, even with the teams that are left on the other side, regardless of who wins, I think it's probably fair to say we will have the most talent. So now that doesn't mean we'll win, but it does mean that we'll have the most talent. And so if the game comes down to a single possession, do I love having the most talent if it comes down to a single possession? Of course I do. So I really like the narrative that these guys have created in the last couple of weeks, where a lot of people had dismissed them in the same way that we've had people dismiss our title teams before, especially 2015. Everybody had 2015 team. A lot of media people had them losing first weekend or Sweet 16, and then they went on and won it all. I think this team could achieve the same thing if we just continue to keep the focus tight and we work really hard and we win the big games that are coming up.
Yeah,
do wanna
I
respond
couldn't. Yeah, go ahead,
before
Zion.
I just want to respond to this one. No, the 20 quickly, just the 2019 team was not a stacked team, to be honest. It was just very top heavy. I was watching the Virginia Tech game the other day. I was like, yo, we didn't have talent outside of the four guys. What
I would flip his set. I would flip his statement. I think they lacked talent and had chemistry at the end of the season.
Yeah. Sorry, Trey, if you're watching, but like
2019?
Yeah, Vernon, Matthew Hurd.
No,
Trey.
I think he's talking about Zion's.
Oh, we talking about Zion's team?
Yeah, they're talking about Zion's team. I think that
sorry,
team
I was
had
thinking about Vernon's team.
I think that team had the talent. The problem was that we needed at least one of the talented members to make threes. We needed somebody to make outside shots because teams were just packing it in like in a comically one-sided fashion in 2019 to the point where it made it really hard to win. So the amount of talent that we had was canceled out just by the sheer lack of shooting that team had down the stretch. Whereas this team does have a good, maybe not as top heavy talent as the 2019 team had, certainly, but we do have some guys who can, we have some guys who can make shots, and even the guys who don't make shots like Mark, I mean, they make such a huge difference on the defensive side that even if they're not shooting the ball, it doesn't matter. And we're making free throws, dude. What? We're making free throws, dude? What?
Man, exactly.
I'm loving it, dude.
I got two things. First thing, shout out to Adam Videk in the Venmo, man. He said, appreciate the content. I spent my summers up in Minnesota, but raised in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he donated $20 to send us to New Orleans. So appreciate you, Adam. That means a lot, man. We're hoping to get down there.
You only need 980 more.
Yeah, exactly. So keep sending them Venmo links in the bio of my Twitter. But outside of that, I want to give flowers to Wendell, and I want to give flowers to Mark Williams. I had but a talk with my stepdad and I watching the game about Wendell needing to step up. And I was like, I don't think Wendell needs to do more than what he's been doing, man. He's getting 12 to 16 a night. He's getting 5 to 8 rebounds a night, and he's getting 3 to 5 assists a night. He's basically been a Swiss Army knife for it basically the whole season, outside of when he was scoring a bunch of points at the beginning of the year. So like, I want Wendell to do what he's been doing. I mean, I wouldn't hate if he kept it up and kept doing more of that and getting a few more of each stat line. But he's been doing great, man. He's a captain. It's been so much fun to see him grow into that leadership role. So shout out to Wendell. And then Mark Williams, man. I said it when the tournament started that you can play your way into a lottery pick in this draft. And I just can't see how Mark Williams hasn't done that in this. How is an NBA executive not salivating at the fact that Mark Williams could be available when he at 8 to 12, like this dude's got the offensive game. I'm not saying his post-up game is there yet, but he's got the offensive mindset to be able to take over, mismatches in the post. His defense is obviously there, and the rebounding with the tip outs, he was not doing that last year, and he was not doing that to start this season. That's a second half to probably last quarter of the season thing where he's tipping the ball out to the guards for the rebound. So big shout out to Mark. He's a difference maker. And Zion, I agree. I'm sorry, Zion or Russ, whoever said it. I don't know if there's another team that's as talented as Duke. Kansas is the only one that competes talent-wise, but I still think we are way more talented than them.
They have maybe one first rounder. Maybe they could sneak a second at the end. I mean, like,
exactly.
We'll minimum have 3, probably 4. Oh, you got the live pulled up, Zion?
Oh, is the audio?
Yeah, the audio's coming through.
Audio's coming through. You're good, man. You're good. But either way, like I'm here we go. Pull it up. There we go. Look at Dell.
I'll try to I was trying to mute this. Like, why is it so loud?
Yeah, no, you muted it. You got it muted now. I mean, I'm cool with keeping it up, man. Look at these guys, dude. That's awesome, dude. Shout out to Wendell, man. Come on, man.
Get those followers, baby. Get it. Come on now.
Yo,
look at these guys, man.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Look at Mark.
Nobody
Nobody
on that team deserves this more than Wendell Moore, in my opinion. I mean, like, and I love all the players. Paolo is phenomenal tonight. Mark, phenomenal tonight. Jeremy has been incredible the entire run. But I tell you what, the fact that Wendell went through 2020, went through 2021, he came back, he did the thing. I mean, like, how much love do you have to have for a guy in that scenario, man? I'm
Man,
so excited for him.
He really became a leader, and I think even in the tournament he became a leader, man. He was even the way he was answering the questions. I told Dom the other day, I was like, he's answering these questions like a leader, like a guy
Big
who's
time,
been there
man.
before. Like I'm just so happy for him. It's his first tournament. It's his first tournament, and he's going to Final Four.
And like I think, go ahead, Russ.
No, I was just gonna say he played badly. Like we can acknowledge it. Sophomore year, he had a bad time. Junior year, after the pause, he had a stretch of 10 games where he was bad, straight up. We don't need to sugarcoat it. He was just bad. But you know what he did that other people would not do, or that other people would cave. Other people would fold. And he
100%.
continued to just try to play his game. He kept taking shots. They weren't going in for the beginning. They just weren't. And it wasn't going our way. But I tell you what, he kept defending. He kept trying to be himself on the floor. And I couldn't be prouder of the guy, man. He's done such great things, and the job's not done, like he said.
I think the coolest thing with Wendell is like I think he felt that the beginning of the season, he kind of took on that role of like, I need to drop 18 to 25 a night to make this team a competitive team. And the fact that Wendell came in, man, after that COVID pause, he didn't play great, but he kind of fell into his role and just owned it, man. Like he does everything so well for this team. He's been doing the rebounding, he's been running point for the majority of the time as well when we couldn't figure out Roach and Keels.
The free throws.
Lineup.
The free throws in the tournament.
Exactly. The free throws has been fantastic in a clutch sense. So, like, I'm so happy for him, man. We've had him on the show before. He's a great dude. I'm just so happy for a guy who stuck it out for a few years and put in his time and, man, put in his work in the offseason, and it's paying off. And I can't even imagine what he's feeling like right now in that locker room. And I'm so happy these guys are celebrating live with these.
Well, you can
man.
imagine it,
awesome.
Ryan. You can see it.
I know. I can see it. I'm just so happy for him, man. It's so cool.
Man.
It's great. Big shout out to like. There's there's nobody on the team that deserves it, in my opinion, more than him. They're all such great dudes. But the fact that he stuck it through the two maybe hardest end of season situations that a Duke player has had to go through, and he came back and he still has done what he's done in this tournament. Oh my God, incredible.
There was a lot of Wendell slander, man, all year, man. Really.
Way too much, man.
Well, he was. I think to be fair to some, now people went overboard as they always do, because
I will say we called him out a few times on this show, man. We called him out a few times.
Well, because he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing well. People go overboard. People go overboard.
Zion, go ahead.
Like there's a difference between holding someone accountable and just plain just crapping on someone. Like
totally.
Wendell was getting crapped on like for no reason a lot of the time this year. And I get it, he's a leader, but like you gotta let a young team develop. Just let a young team grow.
People said to just not play him anymore. Like people always say that though. People say that. Yeah. People say that about Paolo. People say that
on this show.
Forget it,
Paolo.
It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
Now I got a question for you guys, and I don't want to. I kind of want to keep celebrating this team, but the one question that's burning in my mind is
Ryan, don't ask it. Don't ask it, bro. Don't ask it.
All right, I'll wait. I'll wait until we're at like the 25-minute mark to ask the question that I want to ask. But yeah, look at these guys, man. I just feel like they're gelling, and it's the right time. Like Zion, you said, let a young team grow, let a young team go through it, and I feel like this is exactly what has happened with this team. Like they went through the first stretch of the season where they were basically unbeatable outside that Ohio State game, which I feel like they thought was a fluke in the second half. Like they still have that confidence, and they run into the ACC play, and at home they lose a couple games, and they're like, whoa, we kind of needed that. And then as they went on, they grew through the rest of the season. They have Coach K's final game in Cameron Indoor Stadium, which was a moment for them to learn. And then they go to the ACC tournament, win a couple games, and then it's Virginia Tech kind of like a punch in the chin. And they're like, whoa, wait a second. We are beatable. Not everything is going to be a gimme when it comes to postseason play. And to see them come through in the tournament, and especially to go to the Final Four, they came out fighting. And I want to say one more before Russ, you jump in. Coach K, I called him out a few times on this show throughout the season for not making adjustments in game and pregame. he came out even after timeouts and made adjustments that took this team on a 6-0, 8-0 run.
Can I get my flowers? Can I get my flowers again?
All right, give it again.
Yeah, man, I need my flowers for calling that zone again.
Oh, we all called it against Arkansas.
we did all call it,
man. We all called it against Arkansas.
Y'all were 1 for 2.
I mean, his. Okay, all right, Zion. You look. We could all look at a stat sheet and say Arkansas was like 270th in the nation in threes, and the zone made sense. But regardless, like for Coach K, there's Quinn Cook giving Trevor Kuehl some love. That's awesome, man. That's so cool. The brotherhood. But when they came out of that timeout after Arkansas had went on that, I think like 7-0 run, and we came out and had that play for Paulo and went on an 8-0 run ourselves, man, that was awesome, man. It's good to see Coach K back in Coach K's form. It's awesome.
Yeah, the adjustments that were being made in this game and in the last game in particular, we just hadn't seen them much this year. You know, I don't want to pretend like I understand the mentality behind it, but we just hadn't seen them. And so I think it's fair for people to be like, why doesn't the team adjust mid-game? You know, but we have seen such clear and obvious adjustments to the point where, because we saw it last game, I know Zion said it, but Ryan also said it. I also said it. We had the suspicion that adjustment would come because we showed the willingness to do it last time. Yeah, and it made such a huge difference. The only place where I would counter Ryan a little bit in his assessment of the season is during the ACC tournament. Even the games we won, we kind of sucked. Like we didn't play well. We won, but Syracuse, who is a bad team, we barely beat them. And then Miami, we did beat them, which felt good. But again, like we let them hang around in such a huge way. I know they've had a good postseason, but like. There was no reason in that game for them to hang around the way that they did. I think, and I hate saying this. This is my least favorite narrative. People like to say, oh, well, if they lose in the ACC tournament, it's a wake-up call. And we even talked about on this show how we think that that's mostly bullshit. That said, because we played a Syracuse team badly and we won, and we played a Miami team badly and we won, it might have been good for us to play a Virginia Tech team badly and lose, just to remind us that we can't always play badly and win. We just can't. And we have not seen the team for a lengthy stretch, the way that we saw in the ACC tournament. I mean, would anybody on this call disagree that, like, in the games that we won, we didn't play more than, like, 10 minutes well? Right? Like, we played 30 minutes badly, and we played 10 minutes well. And you can't do that in the tournament. This tournament, we have not seen more than an occasional 5 to 10 minute stretch be bad. We have been good more than we have been bad. And even the 2019 team, we couldn't really say that. So I really like that this team has clearly learned from the extreme problems that we had in the UNC game in Cameron, in the ACC tournament, and we've just not allowed ourselves to completely get in a hole the way that we had the last couple of weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, a shout out to Chip Kelly Burner on Twitter, the AJ Curl play. I've been saying all season, start running pin down screens for AJ Griffin, and both the times we read it this game, it was a bucket, it was a layup. Like,
what about the Paulo ISOs when we called that one timeout and then we fed Paulo literally 3 possessions in a row, and I think he scored on 2 of them, and he got to the line on the third one, and he made both his free throws. At that point, I was like, if we just feed him every possession, we'll win by 20. Like, I love that Coach K called the timeout, and then he said, guys, what are we doing? Let's get the ball to Paulo literally every possession. Because we've said so many times on these lives afterwards, why did we not feed Paulo? What were we doing? And then on this one, they called the timeout, and then they fed him every time. It was great.
And they fed him, and they got deep position. It wasn't just feeding him like just get him.
Yeah, it wasn't 30 feet from the basket, right?
Yeah, they put him in a spot. Yeah,
exactly. And I will say, I feel like everybody for the last 2 games now has been shouting out a player or two. And Zion, it's not calling you out because everybody's been saying I want one person to step up and make the difference. But I feel like the theme with this team in the postseason, at least with the NCAA tournament, has been 5 guys stepping up and scoring in almost double digits throughout the entire tournament. Like tonight we had 4 guys in double digits, 2 guys with 9 points. Like, it's just been a collective team win in each game of this tournament. Like no one's had to completely step up and break out of their shell to let this team get over that finish line. And so I think that's a very positive thing going into the Final Four, is that we're going to get good minutes and good production from 4, if not 5 guys going into it. Like that's a positive. Not many teams can say that they're going to get double digits from 4 to 5 guys every night. So everybody says like Keels steps up tonight, AJ steps up tonight, Wendell steps up tonight. Like I'm all for it if it happens, but like I don't think it needs to happen for this team to make that step, and they proved it so far through these 4 games through this stretch.
Yeah,
which is positive.
Mel, explain this. I don't see no Jack tweet. I just checked his profile. But yeah, I agree, and I feel like that makes us most dangerous when obviously everyone's contributing. When we don't need like Paolo going for 20. We don't need, like Russ was preaching all season, we don't need the Paolo 25 shots if we get. But I think that really hasn't even really been like obviously like a change. I think the area I think that the reasoning for why that stopped happening is Jeremy Roach. Like Jeremy Roach has really, obviously came into his form at point guard, and I think he really sets the table for us now to allow everybody else to go off a bit.
I think if he was not playing the way that he was playing, we would be having a different conversation about how the offense needs to be distributed, and
we wouldn't be
the fact
playing.
that he's come around.
We wouldn't be playing.
We probably would not be playing. That's certainly true.
We'd be watching this game tonight. But I think someone DM'd me something that was very interesting, and Dom was talking about it the other day. This season started with Villanova. It could end with Villanova.
Yeah, with the scrimmage you're talking about.
I doubt it. Was it Slater that got hurt tonight?
Oh yeah,
Moore got hurt,
and that's their best.
I mean, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's their best probably perimeter scorer. So like I don't know who they even gonna play. Kansas or Miami?
They'll play Kansas.
You never know. Miami, stop sleeping on
Miami, man.
Don't sleep on Miami. Miami is a team that could give Kansas trouble.
All right.
They are. What do you mean? All right.
I mean, they could, man. They gave Duke trouble. They've been up to the task of every team so far this tournament. So
they could give any team trouble because they have 25-year-olds. They have 3 25-year-olds in their starting lineup. Like, come on.
All right, man. All right.
I hear that, and like I don't disagrey in the sense that in any given game, any team could win any game, but like. Who do they like if David McCormick decides to show up? What are they going to do against him? Like, what are they going to do against him?
We have Paolo and Mark, and
we blew that game. They didn't steal it from us. We blew it
twice.
Yeah,
David McCormick is nowhere near as good as Mark Williams.
I understand, dude. But we were chucking a bunch of bad outside shots, and that's just not really what Kansas does. Like if David McCormick decides he wants to like only take like 5 shots, then like, okay, yeah, then they're going to be in trouble. But like if he plays the way that he's been playing, like he's just not the same sort of guy as Paolo where he's going to get tempted into taking jump shots. He's just not going to do Kansas is going to be like a 6-point favorite.
All right, hold on. Back to my question that I had 10 minutes ago. Now we're gonna do it. Who do we want to see in the Final Four? UNC or St. Peter's?
St. Peter's. What are you talking about, dude?
That's not like. All right, let me tweet that out.
I tweeted it out as well. Let's hear it in the comments. Do we want to see St. Peter's? Because we think. I mean, obviously the reasons are glaringly obvious. Do we want to see St. Peter's in the Final Four because they're a 15th seed and they're would be a heavy underdog, or do we want to get a little bit of revenge going into the championship game? I'm not disagreeing. I'm just throwing the question out there.
Anyone who says UNC is a psychopath is a psychopath, dude. Straight up, lock them up in an asylum, dude.
A 14 on Twitter says Carolina. People are
his name is A-Butt14. Tell him to shut up, dude.
You look in the chat and it's gonna be half and half. I bet we got A-Butt saying Carolina, CJ Rand says St. Peter's, Blue Devilin says UNC.
People are talking about people are talking with emotion and not with reality. They're talking with emotion and not with reality, dude.
Shout out Duke blogger Brian. He says St. Peter's realistic. I want St. Peter's, bro.
Realistically, you want St. Peter's. Who wants to go through that when it comes to playing against UNC?
I want UNC to get to the Final Four. Like,
yeah,
I want them to see the Final Four.
Why would you cheer for that? I'm all on the Peacock
Nobody wants that.
Bring Doug Everett and the entire squad that has been balling out with Shaheen Holloway to the Final Four, and let's get them this Duke smoke, man, all day.
People saying UNC, mad.
Yeah, y'all are weirdos.
UNC,
give me the Peacocks.
Y'all are weirdos, straight up. Weirdos, dude. Weirdos, psychopaths. Weird Looney Tune shit. Y'all are the guy at the end of Dr. Strangelove on the bomb, riding it as it falls to the earth. Y'all are insane, dude.
I don't want to see the Tar Heels cutting down nets. That's for sure.
No. Yeah. And first and foremost, sorry, people on Twitter are acting like I was the one that was agreeing with I want UNC. I was asking the question. I do not want UNC. I want St. Peter's 100%. They would have no answer for anything or anybody on this Duke team. Like, I'm sorry, that would be a
having
blowout.
a nice run. They having a
I'll
nice
give it
run,
to them.
Dude, I was about to say, Zion, my thing I keep saying is like, dude, when you're running a marathon with a horseshoe lodged up your ass, there's only so far you can run before the horseshoe falls out, man. And they've made it further than anyone else. Credit to them to make it further than anyone else before the horseshoe falls out of the ass. But like it's almost certainly going to fall out tomorrow. But if it doesn't fall out tomorrow, that's our benefit, dude. That's a huge benefit to us.
Yeah, I don't want to shy away from the Duke part of it, but like, is there any chance that UNC does not blow them out tomorrow night?
There's a 5% chance they don't blow out St. Peter's. 5%.
I would say their play style. The thing is, St. Peter's hasn't been afraid of guards. That's been their big thing this whole tournament. And like Oscar Squeebay had 13 and 15, and they still lost. So like they're willing to give up the let the big man eat.
So let Baycott take as many as he wants. Basically, is what you're saying.
They're gonna key in on Caleb Love and RJ Davis. But the only thing UNC has a neutralizer in Brady Manick. That's the issue. Kentucky doesn't have a stretch four. Like Purdue didn't have a stretch four either. Like St. Peter's has not in this tournament so far seen a stretch four. And Brady Manick has been playing. I mean, credit to him. No, he's been insane.
He's been playing his best basketball of his entire career.
Ever since that game at Carolina.
Yep, totally. So, I don't know what they can possibly do other than just, again, completely luck out. And we saw from the shot quality numbers, the win against Kentucky was insanely lucky. So, like, if they can pull that sort of thing out again where UNC plays better than them, but St. Peter's wins, dude, I'd be on cloud nine. I'd be partying. I'd be on a binge. I'd go to Vegas and I'd be on a binge for days, dude. You'd see a series of tweets the likes of which you've never seen. But like, I just don't expect that to happen. I expect UNC to win by double digits tomorrow, and I expect an absolute nuclear Holocaust doomsday situation to occur.
I mean.
Yeah. Remember at the beginning when we had that show, the Selection Sunday show, and I cheered for this tournament to be rigged in Duke's favor. And I was like, as long as Duke wins it, I don't care if it's rigged or whatnot. Like, and it hasn't been, because there hasn't been crazy foul calls or any crazy close games that has turned it that way. I didn't mean it as in like, let's get the best ratings ever in tournament history and the most viewed game in playing UNC. I did not mean it that way.
That game, oh my goodness.
So right now, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson is the highest rated game. I think it was in 75-76 is the most viewed college basketball game of all time. This will no doubt blow it out for a multitude of reasons, but this will blow it out of the water. And I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it.
Yeah. This is gonna be the most college basketball watch game of all time. Like, no chance. Like, everybody will be watching that night. So, I mean, everyone's gonna be watching regardless. It's Duke. So, but I need St. Peter's.
Man, yeah, I agree.
That narrative stuff is all cool.
Appreciate you.
But I don't even want to think about the side of possibly losing to UNC in the Final Four. Especially after this year. Hey, chill. No ads, brother. No ads.
It's not an ad. I'm just shouting out Russ because I know Russ is a favorite of Busch Light.
No alcohol ads. Kids watching.
Man, but
Russ
I
disappeared.
think, yeah, he jumped in his car. We're gonna celebrate tonight. I'm sure Zion's gonna throw together some montage for tomorrow of some good content. But I'm happy for tonight. I'm happy for Wendell, but I would be lying if I didn't say I was already slightly stressed out about what could happen throughout the next 24 hours.
Man, I'm not stressed because Duke did what I wanted them to do. They got to a Final Four. Now it's just about taking care of business from there.
Taking care of business. Yeah. I think that should be the motto going forward, is just take care of business.
But I'm just so happy because this team is gonna be a memorable team. Like I think with Zion's team, and sometimes obviously Bagley's team, it's hard to remember those teams because they didn't do anything in March. The Elite Eight losses will basically erase,
Yeah, I think you're right, man. It's weird to think that, like that Bagley and Wendell and Grayson team and Gary Trent, that could be one of the best Duke teams in the past 20 years, but they didn't make a Final Four. And I think that is a big shadow over that legacy of that team. That was if you think about it, man, that team was so good talent-wise, especially where they're at in the NBA right now. But making the Final Four just kind of cements the legacy of this team. And
Pat, I see Pat Casey. The job is still not finished, but I'm just satisfied, at this point.
100%.
I'm not. If we lose next week, which is not an option, I won't be as disappointed in the season. I'll still be very proud of this team. But
yeah. Hey, can I put it out there?
What? Put it out there.
So people got mad at me yesterday when I suggested that this was a bad situation. People got mad at me. They were like, "Oh, how dare you? This is loser talk. For you to suggest that we could lose is loser talk." That's what people said. People don't understand that in the NCAA tournament, you're talking about flipping a coin. You know what I mean? Like you really are. Like forget like the rivalry on its own. I mean, we saw St. Peter's beat Kentucky. Do people think St. Peter's is a better team in every time they play? Do you think St. Peter's always beats Kentucky?
It's a single elimination tournament for a reason, man.
It's single elimination tournament, right? So the better team does not always win. It just doesn't. So even if you think, and I think that Duke is better than UNC this year. I think Coach K is a better coach than Hubert Davis. I think that all those things are true. But that does not mean that Duke will win. And all it takes is some bullshit, right? It takes they make a contested three, right? Or we miss one free throw, or one foul call goes the other direction, or whatever, and then the rivalry is dominated, dude. Why do people want to see that? People keep saying to me, but what if we win? But bro, if there's three options, right? If there's three options in this world, one of them is you flip a coin, and if it comes up heads, then you get everything you ever wanted in life. The second option, you flip a coin and it comes to tails, and you die and your whole family dies. And then the third option...
All right, bro. I don't know where you're going with this one, bro.
The third option is you don't have to flip the coin, right? The 99% of people are going to choose not to flip the coin, right? 99% of people will choose not to flip the coin. Now, we might just have to flip the coin. We might just have to because we need to stop UNC. And if we don't stop them, we will, right? So I understand that maybe we just have to do it. But that doesn't mean that flipping the coin is fun, dude. It's not. Flipping the coins.
Hey. Audio.
We don't want to flip the coin, dude. We don't want to do it. St. Peter's, Peacocks, baby. Come on, St. Peter's, let's go.
I love it, and I love the fact that Rush just compared a Duke UNC matchup to your whole family dying.
All right, man.
We're getting off the rails, man.
You're going a little.
That's on the rails, dude. That's on the rails.
You're yelling too much at this point.
Oh man, I love it. So,
the chat. I want to know if the chat thinks I'm wrong, bro.
They don't think they don't think you're wrong. I see a lot of laughing emojis.
That's what I'm saying.
Brian says Russ is gonna need a new heart and a new liver. That alcohol, bro, in the system is doing some.
No, tonight I haven't even been drinking. I had like 2 beers tonight. I'm fine tonight. The drink and the thing is the scenario. The scenario stresses me out, dude. It does.
I mean, the other thing, not to like completely 180 from what Rush just said, is like, shout out this Duke defense, man. They held JD Note to 14 points on only 14 shots. He took, I think it was 29 against Gonzaga. I mean, we let Jaylen Williams, who took way more charges than he probably should have been granted, and scored 19 points. So, like,
that's a given.
I guess flowers to Jaylen Williams, but JD Note holding him to 14.
I'm about to cook Jaylen Williams. Jaylen Williams, you are 6'10", 250, and you taking as many charges as you do, bro. Come on, bro. Like,
good point.
Even against Duke,
point.
like, that's lame, bro. Come on. And
Yeah.
Mark Williams.
You know what? Let him. It didn't matter at the end of the day. It didn't matter. He tried that shit. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. JD Note, I said so many times during the Gonzaga, before the Gonzaga game, during the Gonzaga game, this dude will shoot you out of games straight up. Like, and he almost did for.
He almost did.
He tried with Gonzaga.
No, not tonight. He couldn't tonight. We didn't let him.
Yeah.
Wendell didn't let him.
He kept pulling on some dumb shit, and but the shots he did take, like, especially in the second half, were terrible shots, dude. Terrible shots. Like Chris Likes level shots, dude. JD Note has no business shooting the ball the way that he's been shooting the ball, period. Regardless of whether he played Duke or not. Dude's just gotta like Musselman, for as good as Musselman is at coaching defense and as good as Musselman is as a motivational coach, he is not a good offensive coach at all. He just lets dudes chuck. And like that's just not the way to win games.
Whoa. What fan are you, my guy? Mr.
Yo,
Trill?
Trill 1, let's chill out,
We got some imposters on YouTube. Hold on. What fan are you? Tell me your team. I'm remember
Trill,
you.
give us somebody who that should not be worried about Duke. Let's hear it, man.
What are you talking about right now?
You know what? If he's a St. Peter's fan, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, if you're saying
if he's a St. Peter's fan, then props. Let him talk. Let him talk if he's a St. Peter's fan.
Yeah, Donnell. I agree with Donnell.
If you're a Villanova fan, if you're a UNC fan, I'd be scared. Kansas,
even if he's a Villanova fan, just like that's so many games down the way. Just let him talk. If he's a UNC fan, shut up.
Dude, I love that. I love when Duke fans come into the defense here in the comments.
Oh yeah, they cooking him. I can't put some of those ones up. I can't kick him out. It's a free country.
Yeah, this is the internet, man.
He can watch if he wants. I can't do.
Hey, but it don't have to be free if you want to send us all to New Orleans next week, man. Just hit us up in the vent.
Oh wow, that was a good.
Well, I'm not gonna for the people who had asked. I'm not gonna go to New Orleans. I'm gonna be back at the Lucky Bar next week. I'll be back at the Lucky Bar,
and we'll take any Venmos that you send to Russ for his beer tab. We'll just take that and put it on the Crazy Twitter live tab. Sending us down to New Orleans.
I am Jack.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Mel. Yeah, I'm getting way too comfortable with this gig right now.
He's a UNC fan. I don't know how you
owns y'all.
Wait, why are you out? Why are you up at 11:57 worried about Duke? Don't you got a game tomorrow?
Chill,
you got a
man.
game tomorrow. You watching our celebration? That's sad.
I can't wait to watch that Wendell live back, man. I'm so happy for these guys, and like I said before, that I don't think got enough credit is just Coach K's adjustments and the game planning on short notice. I got to give the staff credit, man. Especially with a young team. With an older team, it's a little bit easier, but with a young team, it's just so cool to see. Zion, you about to play this? You probably play this back.
I don't think I was just trying to
Paolo talking. Y'all hear it?
Yep.
Strong moves.
Yeah, a little bit.
He was playing, solid defense, and I drew 2 fouls up top on jump shots. But yeah, I just wanted to be aggressive, and I wanted to get to the line and convert. We needed a boost. I think they cut the lead to like 5.
Shout out to this guy, man.
So
shout out to this guy.
Moves to the basket.
You should get the ball more.
Put a mark in the middle.
I mean, everybody ate, so I'm not mad at it. But
I don't know if they do,
season, right? You got Coach K.
If they win in the Final Four, if they make it to the title game, it doesn't matter who we play. If we make it to the title game, these guys are legends. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like
God.
this is the
They
sort
let
of
this
thing.
down to me.
Well, I know, but compared to Duke, right? Because there's a lot of Duke players who won titles and are like legends on like a very, very high scale. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get there, and they're working and they're doing beautiful work. You know what I mean? Like, and I love what they're doing. I love everything that they're doing. But like, if they can make that title game appearance, like then they are at worst case scenario, they're gonna be so beloved, man. Like it's just, but like this next game just matters so much. It really does. Like it's not fair. It's not the pressure that they put upon themselves. It's pressure that they have inherited. Like, but
Yeah.
this is the sort of thing. All of the terrible comments about like, oh, forget the one and dones. Oh, forget the way that Duke has been doing things. Oh, blah 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 blah. If we make the title game with these guys, it doesn't matter. Like none of that matters. It just doesn't
hold on.
matter. Like the people can scream into oblivion.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, because are you gonna play this? Are you playing this clip, or you want me to go with my question? Because my question is gonna derail this whole thing.
It's a lot. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna ask my question, and then I'm gonna get Russ and Zion's comments on whether or not we should save this question.
Okay. Oh no.
Should we save this question for later? 2015 versus 2022.
Well, yeah. You have to save it because
you have to save it, right?
There's no. Yeah, you can't compare them.
I'm only comparing it because it's the last Final Four team we've had, so that's the only reason why I'm comparing it. We can wait. I can do it now.
Yeah,
it's gonna come up eventually. You want me to wait, Zion? I'm gonna give it to Zion.
We gotta win. We gotta win. All right.
I'm cool with it. It just came to my mind.
Ryan, if we lose in the Final Four, then what do we think the answer is going to be for everybody? You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. I just thought I'd bring it up to see if we wanted to talk about it. I'm sure we'll get a couple of comments on it right about now, but I just figured bring it up. But regardless, I don't have an answer to it. I wasn't trying to like stoke the fire or anything, but I'm just it's fun to be able to have that discussion again because I honestly feel like we should have and could have had that conversation in 2018 if we didn't have to derail it with the Kansas game. So I'm pumped to be able to be in that conversation again, especially after last season.
I will say though, matchup wise, it's really close. It's really close just off of pure. You look at talent. It's really close.
Like if you go down the starting five, just the starting five completely, it is very even to an extent for sure. Like you give.
Well,
hold on, Ross. I think we're going down that path now that I asked it. But like, if you want to go down that just the starting five, you got Roach versus Tyus, obviously Tyus, and then you got who's it two? Matt Jones against
Wendell.
No, you got
Quinn.
Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm sorry. That was a Duke sin right there. You got Quinn against Dell. You take Quinn, but then the next three. You got AJ Justice. You got AJ Justice AJ against Matt, and then you got Justice against Paulo, and you got Mark against Jaleel. So
we'll talk about that if they win.
We'll get there. That's a tease. How about
also when you're talking about matchup, the game is just so different. Like the way that Mark defends in space. Like Ja couldn't do that. Like Ja is a much better offensive weapon than like Mark is, just because we've relied on him to do things that we have not relied on Mark to do. But like in terms of asking Ja to defend 3-point shooters, the way that we've sometimes asked Mark to do, and Mark can kind of do because he's very agile out there and he's got the length and he's got the height and he's got the I don't know, dude. That's a tough.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out that I didn't give in the beginning of the show to Mark for the perimeter defense he displayed, and then when he did that little Euro step at the beginning of the game, how many 7-footers with a 7'7" wingspan can do that, man? That was so fun, man.
He had a putback. He had a couple of plays at the beginning. I had some Duke haters that I follow who were like, one of them was like, where did that come? Like, does he have like an extra like half an arm that he can just extend whenever he wants? You know what I mean? Like,
At the end of the half, when he palmed that ball and basically palmed it, tipped it in.
That's that's stuff you don't see that. You just don't see it ever.
I just saw his stat line. He had 12 and 12 tonight. He had 3 blocks, but he probably had like 15 altered shots. So
you're talking about Mark had he did have 12. Okay, sorry, you're right. Yep, 12 and 12, and he had 3 blocks and then a bunch of altered shots and rebounds that he kicked out.
For me, he's right now my tournament MVP of the team. Because he's been consistent throughout. I know Jeremy has made the engine go.
No, you're not wrong.
Paolo has had the scoring.
Marcus for sure. He's had the consistency. And he's made big plays, man. You're not wrong.
If you're thinking about the entirety of the game on both sides of the floor, I think that's a fair assessment. I think that when people give that sort of award, it usually comes down to what happens on offense at the ends of games, in which case you're obviously giving it to Jeremy. But I do think that in terms of the broad spectrum of things, Mark has been the most impactful player on both ends of the floor for Duke.
Yeah, and we probably will end this soon here, but the last thing I have to say is that they gave out the West Region All-Tournament team, and it consisted of J.D. Notte, Jaylen Williams, Jeremy Roach, Mark Williams, and Paulo Banchero.
Okay.
So
that's
not only did we get 3 out of the 5, I just want to throw it out there that Drew Timme and Chet Holmgren did not make the list.
Who's Drew Timme?
Exactly.
Yeah. He was real bad. Chet obviously didn't get to play very much in any game that mattered.
Listen, Paolo's the only name in those 5. Yeah, Paolo's the only name of those the projected 5 top picks that really showed up in the tourney. Jabari had on his last game. That was a bad performance.
I said it at the beginning. Yeah, I said at the beginning of the show, and I said at the beginning of this tournament, is that the tournament is where you can make or break your draft stock. And I think Paulo has brought himself into the number 1 conversation again after, according to Mike Schmitz at ESPN, he took himself out of it. And I think Mark Williams has played his way into a lottery pick. So shout out to those guys, man. Get that bag, man. I'm so happy for them. I got nothing else tonight, man. These guys were great. Coach K has been great. Everything's been great. Let's do it for another week, huh?
Go ahead, Ray.
I think that Paolo. I think that next game will matter. I mean, depending on who we play, but Paolo has a great opportunity, Ryan. To your point, because people do like to inherit the moment. They like to observe the moment,
and they should.
And I think that's fair when you're playing the best teams. I think that's a completely fair thing to do, and yeah, I don't know that he's there yet, but I think that if we can have 1 to 2 more games of Paolo playing the way that he has been playing, because when we feed him the ball, he has been dominant. He's just been dominant. He's been dominant in a variety of ways. He's played not consistently good defense, but he is certainly on the inside played better defense on the interior than he had earlier in the season. I think he's got some really cool opportunities in the next game or two to tell the teams. I think Sam Vecini said it best, where he kind of thinks that the number 1 pick will go to whoever gets the number 1 pick will just have a guy probably already in mind at this point. Yeah. And if they were considering Paolo, then based on his performance, they're going to pick Paolo. If they weren't considering him, then probably there wasn't anything Paolo was going to do to convince them anyway. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the pick, what position that team is in. I would love to see him get it. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. I got two things before we bounce here. The first thing is, the media asked the players if they will be silently rooting for UNC tomorrow, and Coach K jumps in immediately and says it's going to be an honor for us to go against whoever the regional champion is from that region.
Trying to set him up. Tried to set him up.
Yeah, exactly. And I led the show with, and the middle of the show with, if you want to see us at the Final Four next week, Venmo donations are being taken for sure at the link in my Twitter bio. So let's send us to New Orleans, man. Let's do this, man. I can't wait.
Bio, man.
Yeah, man. We'd love to, more than anything, to bring you guys a show from New Orleans on. I mean, how about Bourbon Street show, man? Bring us a show down there. That'd be lit. But
Ryan, if you get enough, then you holler at me too. if you get enough.
All right, we'll holler at Russ's Beer Fund from all you guys who was buying him beers when he.
I'm gonna go to the Feast Blacksmith shop, get that purple drink.
Oh man. Yeah.
Exactly. Send us to New Orleans, Russ. You've had plenty of thoughts tonight. Zion, any final shot or thoughts tonight?
Nah, man. Just appreciate this team, what they did, and we don't get to this spot often. It's been 6 years, so 7 years. Yeah. So enjoy this. Subscribe to YouTube, like the Devil's Den on the Facebook.
Shout out to TickPick, man, for this whole year.
Yeah, shout out to TickPick the whole year, man. I mean, we're not finished, man. We back next week. Someone asked us to do a show tomorrow after St. Peter's.
I'm in.
Maybe a Twitter Spaces, maybe some capacity. We'll see. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. Final Four, baby.
We're going to New Orleans, baby. Let's go.
Final Four.
We're going to New Orleans. I love it. Go